Hi, everybody. We are on day 29 of reading our Bible every day this year, and today's reading is Genesis 48 through 50. I'm so proud of us. We have stuck through this thing, and it's day 28, and that is an accomplishment, especially for me because I get bored with stuff at day like maybe 10 or 11, and the fact that I'm on day 28 is just amazing and shows that God is just incredible, and this Bible is very interesting and good to me. Okay. So in Genesis 48, Joseph heard that Jacob was sick, so he went to visit him along with his sons Manasseh and Ephraim. These names, I be trying my best, but they be winning. So we just gonna say M and E, okay? Because they names come up quite a lot. Jacob said he claiming E and M is his sons, just like Reuben and Simeon and Levi. And I'm just like, how you just gonna take the men kids? Like I didn't understand that, but he basically was saying that he gonna take them and then bless them as if they were his own kids. And then he told Joseph that if he has any other kids, then those will be considered his kids. And then his eyesight is leaving, similar to his dad's eyesight leaving. So I was like, oh, that's interesting, because it was during this time that he stole Esau's blessing. But yeah, so he tells Joseph to bring E and M closer to him, and he puts his right hand on E's head and his left hand on M head, and he blesses E as if he was the firstborn. And Joseph is like a little agitated, like he's not the firstborn. You mixing them up. And Israel is like, no, I'm not. The youngest one gonna be greater than the oldest one, and that's why I did what I did. Then he told Joseph that he's going to be dying soon, and that he wants to go back to be buried where his grandparents and his parents are buried, as well as Leah. And finally, he told him that he gave him one more ridge of land than he gave to his other sons. And I thought it was interesting because he also like goes through one by one and basically give his sons their fates, but he didn't include E and M in that. So I'm not sure if E and M's was when he prayed for them that blessing, or if they just didn't include E and M in it, because I feel like since he said that they are now his sons, instead of it being 12 tribes of Israel, it should have probably been 14 tribes of Israel. So yeah, so they aren't included in this, but he goes by one, basically letting them know what their future holds. So he starts off with Reuben, and he says, you ain't getting nothing because you defiled my bed. And at that point, he's talking about Reuben sleeping with his baby mama Belial, who is Rachel's maid servant. And then Simeon and Levi, he says that they aren't getting anything either. They're going to be scattered across the land because they have anger issues. So they can't be together because of what they did to them men who raped Dinah. They basically destroyed that town. And Reuben, Simeon, and Levi are all Leah's sons. Judah got high praise, which I thought was interesting because he was the one who came up with the idea to sell Joseph anyway. But yeah, and that's Leah's son as well. And then Zebulun is Leah's son, and he says that he'll take up the land by the seashore. Issachar is Leah's son, and he says that he'll be content working the land. Dan, who is Belial's son, Rachel's maidservant, will be a judge. Gad is Zilpah son, who is Leah's maidservant, will be attacked, but he will fight back and inevitably win. Asher, which is Zilpah's son, Leah's maidservant, will be a great chef. Naphtali, who is Belial's son, Rachel's maidservant, is going to be as free as a doe. Now, I don't know what that means, but he's going to be free as a doe. Joseph, of course, is Rachel's son, and he is a fruitful vine, a prince amongst his brothers. And then Benjamin is Rachel's son, and he's considered a wolf. And then after he went down the list of all of his sons, he basically gave instructions on how to bury him. He wants to be buried with his wife, Leah, so his first wife, who was Leah, his grandparents, and his parents. After he gave all of these instructions and all of these words to his kids, he died. Then we go into chapter 50, and it says that they ended up embalming him for 40 days, and then they mourned him for 70. So I don't know if that's like 40 plus 70 or 40 and then an additional 30. But I thought it was interesting for the embalming because nobody else got embalmed, but they're in Egypt. So I thought about like the pyramids and like the mummies and how the Egyptians are very good at preserving people after death. So I thought that was a good thing that he was there to receive that. But after the mourning period, Joseph told Pharaoh he promised his dad that he'll bury him in Canaan. So Pharaoh gave him permission to go. So they rounded up everybody, went to bury Israel, and then they went back to Egypt. His brothers, they are always up to something. His brothers felt like Joseph would reciprocate, or will want revenge for what they did to him when they were children, or when he was 17. And so they drafted a letter or a word from Israel saying that it came from their daddy, that he letting them know that he wants Joseph to forgive his brothers, and basically don't hold a grudge. Please forgive them. And then his brothers offered to be his slave. But Joseph was over all of that already. He's like, yeah, I know you intended to harm me, but God basically positioned me to where I needed to be to help save thousands and thousands of people during the famine. So he was completely okay with the way the story went and how it ended. So Joseph lived to be 110 years old. He was able to see 3 generations of Eve's kids and his grandkid from M. He told his brothers he's about to die, but God will take them to the land promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob / Israel. So he told them, when y'all leave, take me with you. Take my bones, carry my bones up out of here too. And I thought that was funny. But anyway, he died, and they embalmed him as well and put him in a coffin in Egypt. So I guess he want them to kind of like take his body up out the ground and take him where they go. I know that's right, Joseph. But yeah, so that's the reading for tonight.